and welcome to Portman Road. This sound indicates an important announcement.
Counting down to Christmas, busy making plans. I got the mother-in-law knocking at my door. We all need to lend a hand.
Counting down to Christmas, queuing at the shops. It'll be next year till we get out of here. I gotta pull out all the stops. La 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 la, it never ever stops.
It's Christmas Day, what do you say to a glass of red or white wine? So spread a little cheer to those who hold dear. Well, that's gonna suit me just fine. It's Christmas Day and we're on the way to see all the family. Missed by kids, cry past where the Wi-Fi. That's gonna suit me just fine. We all sit down for Christmas telly.
Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends, and welcome into another matchday preview from me. And there's some really good guests on tonight. Sadly, the artist behind that song there, Mr. Matthew Phillips, he has failed a late fitness test. Man flu has gotten to him, so sadly he won't be with us tonight. But we are joined by one half of Hard Truth, which is always the fan favourite half of Hard Truth, let's be honest. And I'll bring him in a very short amount of time. Don't forget, this weekend we have got our matchday ticket coverage kicking off at 2:30. Myself, Rob and Amy. Rob's girlfriend's dad is a Peterborough fan, so it could be meltdown central should maybe the inevitable happens. I don't know. Right. But yeah, that's at 2:30, and then Sunday 1:30 is the Talking Town podcast. So the match day preview. Let's discuss the posh game tonight. We've got the wheel. Everything's so much better with the wheel, and of course we have got the man, the myth, the legend. I will play his theme tune from the mean streets, parts unknown. Crunch. Oh, hello. I've not pressed the button. Sorry. Hello, Crunch. How are you doing?
Oh, hang on. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Hang on.
Yes. Shall we try that again?
Oh, can't hear you.
That's you, not me. That's you, not me.
I'll be back. Just
That's a famous last words. Okay, look. I'll bring in the new sensation on the block, the pay-per-view headliner, the Stone Cold Steve Austin of our production. It is, of course, Mr. Kally. Welcome in. How you doing? And now we can't hear you. This is going really well, isn't it? This is going epically brilliant. No, can't hear you now.
Yeah.
Speak. Yes,
Yeah.
we can hear you. Yes, we've put 50p in the meter. We've got you. We've got you. It's the Talking Town Wi-Fi. It's all gone Pete Tong, but we'll pick it up from here. Do not worry. So, Kally, first time being on the show as a contributor from the get-go, not a contributor from the stands. How does it feel to be this, behind the curtain and a part of the production?
Well, it's what I wanted for Christmas, isn't it? Well, I wanted Lambert and Evans out, but this will do,
This will do.
It's all good.
It's an audience with Lambert.
Well, that's it. Lambert's going to be watching it somewhere, so better be careful what we say.
No, absolutely not. So we've got some people in the chat already. Fantastic to see. Stuart, George, Andrew, Nick Muller. Hi, I'm in London, tier 3, so I can't go until who knows when. Sorry to hear that, Nick. Stay well, stay healthy. George, same Nick Muller. Managed to go on Tuesday, but Essex tier 3 now. Yes, Matt Phillips, Kally, who lives in Essex, is in tier 3. Where you're in Birmingham, so what is your tier 3?
We're in Cov, yeah. So we've been in tier 3 for God knows how long. So we're staying that way. But everyone's just acting like it's normal. I was in Bullring the other day and everyone's just out shopping, no masks, nothing. So, yeah. I mean, Ipswich is still in tier 2.
It is. Yeah, we are.
Everywhere around it's now in tier 3.
We're a tier 3 club in tier 2. So make of that what you will. Cruncher, are you ready?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear. Welcome in. So,
Get
Kally
well soon,
first.
Matt. Get well soon, Matt.
Oh, he's only got a short cold, mate. He's only got a small cold.
Has he got his eye patch on?
Probably.
Is he like Gabrielle? He'd be like Gabrielle, wouldn't he? The singer.
Well, out of reach. Eric Clacton. I should be at my needlework class tonight, Martin, but I'd rather be watching your preview. Thank you ever so much. We appreciate that. Hawks is surprised there's not a Lambert poster. The blue tack, George. The blue tack. It's dodgy blue tack or dodgy walls, one of the two. But he does still live here. Here he is. Look, Uncle Paul, as he's affectionately known by my son.
Didn't someone donate you to put a donation for the thing to burn it?
Yeah, no, not burn it. Says steady on. He didn't put that much in the pot. Ben King said, "I'll donate money to the shoebox appeal if you take it down." So I took it down, and since then, omen or not, it's not been able to stick itself back up on the wall. So I don't know, but I've taught my son to wave, and every morning now he always waves at it, and I see it, wave at Uncle Paul, and
waving goodbye. Hopefully, bye, Paul. Never see you.
We'll discuss that at some point throughout the show. I'm absolutely sure of it. We do have a third or fourth member of our team this evening. It's not the dog, no. It is. How should we introduce this contributor? Crunch, give me some info.
He's got a fluffy beard. He comes down the chimney.
He does. He's got a big. He lives in. Which pole does he live in?
Don't know. He's got a big sack.
He's got a big sack. Oh my God. All right, without further ado, while I'm getting mauled by my very own feline friend, it is, of course, Mr. Father Christmas.
Oh,
Tractor Santa, welcome in. How you doing?
I'm doing very well. I'm trying not to laugh. I hope my wife's watching, and Rich is right. My sack is full.
Hope you've got. Hey, hope the heating's not on down there. You're going to be melting.
I've just turned it off. I am melting. And when I say sack, there's a black sack down beside me here full of presents, by the way. That's what I meant.
Of course you did. We all knew that. We all knew that.
Yeah.
I'm getting absolutely mauled by the dog.
I'll introduce you to the flag. That went everywhere with me in the 90s.
Love it.
And
Yeah.
and for those at home, obviously this is Karl Fuller, the blogger and writer for the East Anglian Daily Times. For those at home that may not know, where was that in the 90s, Karl? How far flung did the flag go?
Well, everywhere, I would say, right up north. In the days when we used to be penned in like animals with fencing down the front, anywhere that had a fence, that was hung up. Probably my most favourite one would have been Millwall in the 91-92 season when we won 3-2. Rich might have been there. He's probably the only one old enough out of you three that might have been there.
I think I remember the game. We were 3-0 up, weren't we? Lovely orange kit.
I had a couple of quid on Jason Dazelle to score first, which he did. In them days, it was often 16-1. And often scored first, always a good bet. And also, Santa has a town mug as well, look.
Santa is a blue, all right? As Andrew Law says.
Can you take that straw out? Can you take that straw out and show us how you drink without the straw?
Karl, I think your son's watching, Karl. So best behaviour. Oh God, he says. So we're all gathered here today, not because it's Christmas, but because next Saturday even we play Peterborough. Another top six side comes calling for Paul Lambert's men. I'm sure we'll get into our finer thoughts about it. Michael Finch says we're all town mugs. It's a fair point. We do, as always, have the wheel, Mr. Moss. You've all put a few things on this wheel. Well, not all of us. I didn't. I don't think Kally did. But for those at home that are looking at it and thinking, what's on today's agenda? We've got Boxing Day games. Barcelona with a question mark, because I'm sure Karl will fill us more in about that. Record against top sides, and what do we expect from Saturday? Fans' right to call for the manager's head. Okay, that was my one. And posh team predictions. Hey, it's me. I've got to put it in there somewhere, right? So, should we kick it off? Should we let Santa have the first spin?
Yeah.
Yeah? Santa have the first spin? You ready,
Go on,
Santa?
Martin. In the wheel.
Santa loves this music.
I forgot about the music.
Oh, yes! Okay. Are fans right to call for the manager's head? Just to put some meat on that bone before you kick us off there, Karl. We are currently sat, obviously in League One, but we are 5th in League One, 32 points, 2 points from Hull. Are the fans right to call for the manager's head?
I think they're entitled to. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, and I think it's important that we all respect one another's opinions, whether you want Lambert out or not. Personally, yes, I do. You can go on about the injuries, right? I don't want to say it, but there's a team up the road, a long way up the road from where I am, in sunny Clacton-on-Sea, top of the Championship. Last week, they beat Nottingham Forest with 13 players missing injured. And I know you can say that their replacement players are probably better than our replacement players, but it's all relative. I mean, Liverpool had a lot of injuries last night, and they were replaced with decent players for that level. And obviously the team up the road have got some decent replacements to get them up to the top of the Championship. If you're a professional footballer at a professional club and you're managed right and you're coached right and you're given the right tactics, you'd be doing better than what our lot are. And also, it's all very well Lambert saying about 4 times in his post-match conference the other night, we're 2 points off the top. It's incredible. I mean, I only needed to hear it once. I didn't need to hear it 4 times in one interview. But look at the 3 or 4 teams immediately below us in the table. How many games in hand have they got? If the season was to end now on the same basis as last season, points per game, we wouldn't be in the top 6. Back in the day, I was a good runner. If you put me on the starting line of the London Marathon and I sprinted away, I might be winning the London Marathon for 5 seconds, but I wouldn't go on to win it. Let's see where we are after the marathon, not the sprint.
Is that breaking news? Santa Claus was a runner when he was younger.
Yeah,
Rich,
a long time ago.
I get that, and obviously, Rich, I've at one point I thought that was Matt Phillips under that beard, because that's a Matt Phillips sort of line of reasoning, isn't it, about the injuries? But just to put some context on before you have your say, yes, Norwich have got injuries, but they've got players in the key areas still fit. Pukey, they brought Hugill on for the last 5 minutes. Like where games are won and lost, they've still got the strength of their quality. So yes, they've got a number of injuries, but they're not playing Aaron Drinan up front, who scored as many goals as me, you, and Santa sat there.
Good point.
You're
Can't
on
hear
mute.
him.
You're on mute, Rich. Kally, you go.
So yeah, to the question, they're absolutely entitled to him. Exactly what Karl was saying there. You know my opinion on it. Can you hear
You're
it?
on mute.
I can hear you, Kally.
You can hear me, right? Yeah.
I can hear you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not a massive Lambert fan. I think I've made that pretty well known. I think if you look at where we are and if you look at injuries and all those kind of things, the manager is there to put a squad together. This comes back to him not having a plan B. So if injuries are out, now I don't really pay too much attention to Norwich, right? But obviously if they've got players injured, they're at top of the league, whether he changes formation or he tweaks things, he might do that. Lambert can't do that. It's always 4-3-3 or a certain way of playing, right? So if you don't have plan B, then you can't play to the squad depth to their strength. So all of a sudden you're just trying to put players. It's like in Football Manager when you're putting formations, it's all reds everywhere rather than greens or everything. And that's the problem where it comes to. He's not managing the team. So he has to go, and this league, 2 points off is neither here nor there. We're not halfway through the league yet.
No.
Let's get halfway through. And, I want him gone.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point. And Crunch is still on mute, so until he's off mute, I can't bring him back in. But Karl, if I asked you what your expectations were today, I won't even ask you about what they were back in the summer. If I asked you what your expectation of this team is, what would you say it is? Like, what do you expect from it?
What you're talking about when all the injured players back, or as it is now?
I'm talking as a collective. So we obviously, yeah. When everyone's back fit, I think that's a fair thing to say. Yeah.
Well, I expect them to finish in the top 6, but we can't beat a top 6 side or barely a top 10 side. So I don't see us finishing in the top 6. I mean, last year at the start of the season, I predicted we would finish 15th, and 11th wasn't far off in the end. And that probably might be me a bit more clever than anything else to begin with. But I just think that with the squad we've got, with the right manager, we should finish in the top 6. And I just don't think Lambert's the right manager.
Okay. No, Cruncher, you back? You ready? You fit? You able to?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, we can. Loud and clear. Fire away. Fire on us.
Right. So, when was it we played Burton? Tuesday. If you look at the first goal, that is, I think, how we should play. We played quicker. We missed out the midfield. Look, I don't want to get into hoofing it up to the big man up front, but if you watch that first goal, we missed out the midfield. We played quicker. We won the first ball. Second ball, Jackson flicked on. The ball's in the net. And that first 10 minutes, to me, was how we should play more often. You know, we got the ball. We got it forward quicker. We played in their half instead of just keeping the ball and sort of passing it around in the middle and going nowhere. Look, Lambert, he isn't going anywhere. I think we all want him to go, or a lot of us do. But would a new manager... I'm tending to sway to what you're saying, Martin. Would a new manager come in, and would we be any different? Would it be any different?
Well, this is it. And I was going to challenge you all on this, because obviously we're playing Peterborough at the weekend, who are a top 6 side, and everyone's saying, it's another top 6 side. Another time we're going to get probably get beat, not lay a glove on them. At what point has this collective team shown you they're anything but, middle of the road, bang average?
But this is it, right? Like, so what I'm saying is I want Lambert out, but I said a couple of weeks ago, he ain't going to go out unless the playoffs ain't mathematically possible. Evans' ambition is to make the top 6. That's it, right? So that's the ambition. That's clear. You give a manager who go through a shit period, right? Last year, give him a 5-year contract in the midst of all that. It's like, well, you can keep me in the chase for promotion. He's not interested in us going up there. So coming back to, do we swap a manager over? I do want him gone, and my heart says, yeah, you just got to get rid of him because it's so painful to watch us play. I know Rich is saying, look, we looked okay on Tuesday, yes, against the bottom side.
In the first 10 minutes, Kally. In the first 10 minutes, we looked okay. After
that was it.
Second half was a write-off. It was just...
Let's go further back. Let's look at the first 10 games we were playing pretty okay. Even then, we didn't have a full 90 minutes where we could play well. We had a 45 minutes and then 60 minutes, and that was it. If we get a manager here, just because the league's so bad, if a new manager comes in and can kind of pick up the backside, that spark sometimes that happens with new managers coming in, that may be enough to just roll us hopefully towards second. But I can't see it happening though.
But then you could flip it and say we are 2 points off the top of the table. He gets them players back injured, and then we might be in a better position. Look, he isn't going anywhere. I'm just getting a little bit sick and tired of we're constantly talking about Paul Lambert. You know, we've got a football team. We've got a game on Saturday. But Lambert's going nowhere.
But you've got to talk about something that is
he's the manager.
So topical. He is the manager of the football club, and that top 6 record, as you're probably going to mention at some point in the next half hour, is a record.
It's abysmal.
For a reason. It is, but out of that many sort of like if you had a boxer having that many heavyweight fights and they lost every single one, you say that they're not a good boxer. Like, at what point does a football club gets lucky once? Like Arsenal, right, for example, top 4, but all their fans think they're still at the top of their game, and they should be beating these top sides, and they never do. And as an outsider looking in, you always have a bit of a snigger and go, well, of course you won't beat them because you're not a top side. You've not got top players anymore. Ipswich Town aren't a top side. That's why they're not beating these top 6 sides. They've got the quality to. Karl, Kally says they're the ambition from the owner is clear. Is it clear? Does Tuesday's lineup of what it was and the injuries and the depth, the quality and the transfer signings in the summer, does that show ambition? Does that show us a clear intent of we want to finish inside the top 3?
No, to me, it tells me his ambition is to stay where we are and make the club a cheaper club to run, I'm afraid. I don't think there's any ambition to go up. It takes me back. I used to go and watch Colchester United with my dad quite a lot in the late 70s, early 80s. And every time they got towards the top 3 at the end of the season, they would tail off. And my dad always used to say to me, Colchester don't want to go up because they probably can't afford to play up in Division 3 as it was back then. And I never understood it at that age. But I don't know. Obviously, people say it's paramount we go up this season because of the cap and what it means to the club financially if we don't go up. But if there is any ambition from Marcus Evans, I've yet to see it.
Yeah, likewise. I'd agree. Cruncher?
So that's the common denominator, isn't it? Marcus Evans.
Yeah.
We can all say Paul Lambert, he's not doing his job, which is a fair point. And look, I'm not sitting here and changing my mind. I still want the manager out. But the common denominator, it is always going to be Marcus Evans because he didn't back Mick. Mick got frustrated. That's why Mick fell out with the fans, because he didn't get backed by the owner. And then he put Paul Hurst in charge. We had this. He wanted to go down a new way of playing, a new style, new young coach. Then he bottled it after 14 games, and I'll still sit here and you might think I'm boring, Martin. Paul Hurst would have done exactly, if not better, than the job that Paul Lambert has done at the club, because Lambert's been here 2 years and we haven't progressed. Getting back to the team to the other night, I've done a little bit of digging yesterday. That team, the first 11 we had on that pitch Tuesday night, had over 2,000 games. A lot in League One, but a lot in the Championship. And you're telling me they're not good enough?
I am. Is that not down to? Sorry, is that not down to when we talk about getting rid of the manager? It's the manager, his assistant, the coach, and all the rest of it. Because I don't think they're coaching our players. We're talking about
poorly coached.
Well, we want Downs back. We want Kane Vincent-Young. We want all these players coming back. But look at Wolfenden. He's got worse under Lambert. Like, the players are getting worse being coached under Lambert and co. So a change of something is surely going to... I think even when Downs and that come back, it ain't going to be the answer. He'll just run out of excuses.
I tweeted out yesterday, Martin, I could coach that team better than them.
Yeah, I did see the old usual fish hookers got circling around it. But look, listen, if Alan Judge at 30-odd years age needs coaching, then I'm giving up with football, because he's played so many international games, league appearances. He don't need coaching. He's just hit a point of his career. What, he might block me?
No, James Norwood might come after you on Twitter.
I didn't say James Norwood, I said Alan Judge. But I mean,
I know, but he judges bestie, mate. He's coming at everyone if you go at him on Twitter.
You give me a top 5 complimation of Alan Judge's best bits, and I'll say I'm so sorry, Mr. Judge. If you find 5, you're a lucky man. Look, I do think this team, Santa, has reached a point where it's now just coming down the other side of the hill. You know, you talk about teams that, like, sort of, Alan Hansen with Alex Ferguson's, you don't win anything with kids. Well, this is reverse. You don't win anything with old age pensioners. And quite frankly, this is an old age pensioner squad. It's Dad's army.
Yeah, I mean, people say about we're playing a lot of youngsters, but they're not getting any help, are they, from the likes of Chambers, Ward, Judge, Cornell's in his late 20s, 27, 28. Yeah. There's plenty of them that really should be helping them more than what they are. Caden Jackson must be 26, 27. It's not a team totally full of kids.
No, exactly. But James Wilson, Alan Judge, Crunch, Karl, Kally, are they still giving what this team needs them to give, or are they're giving their all? But is it good enough?
The manager keeps picking Judge. He keeps picking him. What does he see? What does he see that we don't?
Maybe I was
Kally.
just going to say, maybe he just thinks Judge has got that little bit of quality, so if there's a free kick, he might get something in. I know, was it the Gillingham game or something when Hawkins scored his header? He had the crossing on that or whatever. But for 89 minutes, just playing for 1 minute ain't good enough. But none of the seniors are standing up, and they seem to have got quieter now. At least at the beginning of the season, you were hearing Chambers talk, you were hearing Ward talk. You don't even hear him talk. You never hear Lambert talk on a touchline, but no one is talking. It's crazy.
It was interesting you say that about Lambert. So I see someone on Twitter the other day. So they'd put a video on. I think that might have been his first or second game at Portman Road when he was up and down that line. Do you remember him?
Mm.
And then the other night they said he weren't shouting. Then he sat down, and you think, has he been dragged down by the owner though?
Potentially.
You know, because Mick did in the end. Mick got fed up of firefighting, loan signings, free signings, and in the end, he probably thought, I'm the one who's taking the flak for the owner.
Yeah. You have to talk to me at some point about these judge tweets, because obviously I'm not on Twitter barely at all, so I've missed this firework. So I'll ask you probably shortly, but probably off air. So back to the wheel. Cruncher, you ready?
Spin the wheel.
Christmas tree, da-do-be-do-boo, Christmas tree. Ah. Okay, what do you expect from Saturday?
Not a lot. I don't think anyone on here, us four, you might be, because I know you like the bold predictions. I don't think anyone in here thinks that we're going to go to Peterborough on Saturday and get a result.
No chance.
I've got no confidence at all.
A blind squirrel finds a nut at least once.
You like that, don't you? You like that saying?
I do like that saying, yeah. But I keep being told this is a good team. Good teams get lucky once against other good teams.
Who told you it was a good team?
Every Town fan that comes on here.
It's not a good team. Listen, we're a bang average League One team. Don't let your heart rule your head. This is that saying, right? We love Town, so we know that we want to be back in the Championship. We want to be in the Premier League. I think Dazelle said it when he signed his contract. He wants to get us back to the Premier League. It's like, well, that ain't happening in your 5-year contract, mate. Not under Evans, right? And it's realistic. We're an average League One team. We're talking about Peterborough United. No disrespect to them, and we're like, shit. We might get turned over. We might get turned over. A few years ago, never the chance. You know, we were beating teams like Newcastle, Leicester, Liverpool, United, whoever. Now, Peterborough United, Accrington Stanley, that's our level.
Carry on. 2 seconds.
No, sorry, Crunch, you were talking. I talked over you.
Oh, no, I just said, I don't know what Karl thinks about Saturday, but I just think it's probably going to be the same sort of probably 2-0. You know, we'll have a lot of the ball, won't threaten. And I'm not expecting a lot. I don't know what you're thinking, Karl, but I'll be very surprised if it was different.
Yeah, look, you probably see on Twitter within about 10 minutes after every game against the top 10 side that we don't get a result, I tweet the latest count of wins, defeats, draws, from games played. Yeah. And you also know, Rich, when you asked me to come on tonight, I said that I was all kind of Lambert out and sort of knackered, really, sort of worrying about him anymore. And you said it'd be a fun show. So that's why I'm here as Santa tonight, because that's the fun element of me getting through tonight, talking about Paul Lambert, Marcus Evans and Ipswich Town.
Yeah, it's negative, isn't it? It's all negative, Karl.
Also, you know that on my little list of thoughts. Yeah, so on my list of thoughts earlier, Town versus the top 10. And I look at going to Peterborough on Saturday, a bit like the government keep going on about using the data at the moment to support what they're doing with decisions they're making rightly or wrongly. So I look at the data when Ipswich come to playing top 10 teams. And the data suggests this season we've played 3 teams in the top 10 so far, away, Lincoln, Doncaster, Sunderland, and we've lost all 3. If you look at the picture overall over the last season and a bit this season, we've played 25 games and we've won 3. And 3 of those wins, the 3 wins, have come against Gillingham at home, away, Fleetwood away, and Accrington at home. When we were on our way down to this League, they're the three sort of games that you'd hope to be winning. I don't mean to be disrespectful to those teams, but you'd expect to be winning those sort of games. Now, when we go away to the likes of Peterborough, Sunderland, Lincoln, the data suggests we're not going to win. You know, I want to be far more positive. I want to be far more hopeful. And I want to try and talk without fur disappearing down my throat. But, speak on what's turns around and we get a win Saturday, I'll be the first one writing in a column. And well done, excellent result, really pleased. Let's build on it going forward. But just can't see it. Sorry.
Yeah, I think we. Go on, Kally.
I was just saying, there's that comment there from Mike Davies saying Peterborough United are streaky. They're just as bad as us, but they have goals, and that's it. But they have a goal scorer. They can play football. They've got goals in their team. We've got 4 strikers with a single goal each. 2 in the league. Two are in the competitions that we're not any longer in anyway. So where do our goals come from? I know we had midfield and stuff like that. You've got to score goals to win games, and we can't. We're just about scoring goals against, as Karl was saying about Gillingham and the lower teams and Crewe and stuff like that, but just about winning. And now we're going to come to the big teams. Nah.
Yeah, look, you're spot on there, just about winning. Because if you look at them, like Gillingham, 1-0, late goal. Crewe, first half, dominated us, you know. 1-0. Shrewsbury, 97th minute winner. Tuesday against Burton, I think, did we look like scoring second half? No, we didn't. You know, and we're just doing enough against these teams. We haven't, I don't think, look, Blackpool away, we played well there, but we haven't had a convincing, where I'd say it was a 90-minute display, we've won 2 or 3-0, it's been really comfortable, and you think, yeah, that's good. We're just falling over the line, aren't we? So when we do come up against these better teams, it's right what you say. Peterborough, not just this season, they've always scored goals, haven't they? You look at the strikers they've had, Dwight Gale, you know, they had Tony, I think they've had Aaron McLean. Going through the years, and we've not got a great record down there, Karl, because I think we all remember the 7-1 when we got absolutely smashed by them on Sky. And I've seen people saying if we got a draw, it'd be a good result. And you think, blimey, how far we've fallen if we're taking a draw down at Peterborough. Look, no disrespect to them, because I think they're a very well-run football club. Darren McAntony, I think he does a lot of good things, you know, for that football club. So, yeah, it's just a bit like you're going to pay your £10, because I probably will, because I'm a bit of a bloody sap. And I'll sit there and then I'll probably think after about 30 minutes when we're losing 1-0, why did I do it? Why did I put myself through it again?
I'll be the same. I'll be paying that tenner anyway.
I mean, I would take it.
Sorry, go on, carry on. Carry on, Karl.
I'll take it all now. We got a draw there last season, and that was one of our best 5 away results against the top 10 last season. So, you know, that's probably all we can expect this year, you know, to be one of our best 5 results away from home, albeit a draw. So, yeah, I'll take that now.
But then surely,
you're right.
Look, we probably would take a draw, but it all comes down to it would still be another game against the top 6 team that we've not won. If we do actually get into the playoffs, you know, we are going to have to beat a top 6 team. I know Martin says if you keep beating the teams below you, you might get in the playoffs. But sooner or later, we do have to beat some of these teams who are around about us, because you can't just keep continuing beating these teams, your Burtons, your Crews, your Gillinghams. All, look, no disrespect to them, but you do have to beat a top team. But then you look at the league table and you think, between top and I think 10th, it's 7 points. So it shows you how poor this league really is.
Yeah.
It comes back to where we are. What I said, we're an average team now.
Totally agree, mate.
And that's where Evans sees us, because he ain't got to invest any. If we go to the Championship, he's writing more checks out. I agree. Graham, the Diary of a Tractor Boy, when he was on the other week, he was saying, you know, this is Evans' ambition. It's, you know, £2.5 million salary cap. Okay, great. Keep you afloat. The league's that bad that, you know, a couple of bad performances doesn't matter. If you don't beat the top teams, you'll always get around the playoffs each year. But the problem is, eventually you start rotting and sliding down. And we'll go from we went from being a championship team, an average championship team, to a League One team, an average League One team, before we become a relegation League 1 team and average League 2 team. I think we'll see, if it doesn't change, we'll see a relegation before a promotion. And that's the scary and worrying thing.
Well, what a great thought, isn't it?
Someone change my mind. Someone tell me how I'm wrong and how they can see us forget going up, just surviving the next couple of years in this league. Because all your decent players that we're having will go. But sorry, that's a bit too much doom and gloom, isn't it? So I think we'll score a goal at Peterborough. I just don't think we'll win. Is that positive enough?
We scored one there when we let in 7.
That was a good goal, wasn't it? Keith Andrews, I remember that. It's about a 25-yarder in the top corner.
Put us 1-0 up, and we thought we're on our way to 3 points here.
We had 2 did Tommy Smith and Lee Martin got sent off, didn't they, that game?
Yeah, they did.
We had
Paul Taylor, that great. You talk about Peterborough strikers. Paul Taylor got 2.
He was a good signing, wasn't he? Paul Taylor, blimey.
Yeah, great. Yeah. Good.
But you think
he ain't still at.
I always think that if you look at the fixtures, how they've fallen, I think Paul Lambert's been a little bit fortunate because after playing a top 6 team, like we played Portsmouth, then we've got Burton, 3 points. Peterborough Saturday, even if we lose to them, then you've got Northampton. So there's always, I'd say, an easy game. But I will say it's an easy game. You've got an easier game afterwards. So we're always going to be picking up 3 points. We might lose a game. So if you had 2 or 3 of them top 6 teams sort of together to play, and then if you lost 3 games on the trot, you would slide down. He's back. Where you been?
Little boy's room.
We've come on to Boxing Day, Rich.
Come on to what?
We'll come on to Boxing Day and games.
We certainly will. Yes. Okay. Nice bit. I did hear the chat. I took your team with me. There we go. Posh team prediction. Who's going to play up front? Who's going to play in goal? Is it going to be Holy, Cornell? Is it a revolving door? What do we see the 11 being? By the way, just a quick disclaimer. If you are 100% right with this team, Mr. Lambert, if you're listening, if you're watching, we have nothing to do with it. We were given no information. Be kind.
Go on, Carl.
Go on, Carl.
I think it's pretty much going to be as it was Tuesday night, to be honest, apart from whoever got injured and won't be fit.
True.
What else is there? Come on. What else is there, really?
Well, is Jackson going to be fit enough to start? If he does, do you go? Does he play 4-4-2? And if he is, it's 4-4-2. Is it Drinnan with Jackson? I'd like to see that actually, because I think Drinnan is a busy player. I know I hammer him for not having scored a goal, but I'd like to see a busy player like Drinnan with a mobile.
He's a better footballer than Hawkins will ever be.
That's
Drinnan.
not hard. No, I'm not gonna hammer Hawkins. I do that too much as it is, but he is. I can't argue too much. Kally, what do you think?
I'll go the same. It's no plan B, so it'll be the same. He'll be happy that we got the win. At the moment, he's so fragile with his team. He don't want to break anything, so he's like, "Oh, we got to win. Don't change it. Let's do the same formula." And I think that's what will happen. I think he'll have there.
Like you said about Jackson, was he limping? Wolfender was limping the other night, wasn't he, near the end there? Until we get the injury report tomorrow, I would say Bennett. I wouldn't have thought he'll be starting if he's done his groin, and I think.
Yes. No. Yeah,
so I'd say Dobra probably comes in for him. It was interesting when I see Paul Lambert said it was thrown upon Caden Jackson on the Monday that playing on the right hand side, and I'm thinking, what are they doing in training?
Well, I read that as more maybe there was things behind the scenes we didn't realise in terms of who was going to start there. Maybe there was something personal or fitness wise that meant what they had worked on, what had been pinned up on the dressing room wall for the last 2 days, had to change, and it was. You
thought you were adamant, weren't you? 4-4-2 before the game in your pre-match show.
Well, no. I wanted to I wanted to tell myself it was 4-4-2 because the alternative, I wanted to pull my eyeballs out.
There'll be 4 strikers on a pitch, and it will never be 4-4-2 under Lambert this year. He'll have two as two wingers, one as a number 10 and one as a striker. He will never play two up front.
I was on Twitter and I see a lot of people with a. Hawkins was getting a lot of good comments, Martin. You know, they say he's awkward, he's got a good touch. You see the winning goal that we got. He did cause a bit of chaos, didn't he? But it was just a simple ball in the box. Sometimes I think, like I said before, we've got to play a little bit more direct. We've got to play a little bit more quicker forward, get more crosses in. If you've got Hawkins in there, it's not going to be pretty, but I think you just have to just play to your strengths and play with what you've got. I think sometimes we overcomplicate it by passing too much. I don't know. Who knows?
One of my issues with Hawkins, though, Karl, is that if you play him or you have him in the side, you automatically just naturally go long as a style of play. And Mick Mills can try and tell us it's not a long ball, it's a long pass as much as he likes. It's the same thing in my book. It's still aimlessly lumped towards Hawkins' general direction. And it's hoped that we get players around him. Because it's just natural as a player, as a centre-half, you want to go long to him, don't you? Because he's a good outlet.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, I totally agree. You see him up there and it is a natural outlet for the big guy to lay the ball off to the smaller guy, and that's what you get with Hawkins.
It worked for 2 minutes against Plymouth, against 10 men Plymouth.
I'm not having that.
We're an average League One team. What do you expect? Hawkins is an average League One target man. This is what we get.
Well,
come on, cheer up. Come on. Look, Cole's come on here to cheer us up, and we've been miserable.
I think this is the life of Ipswich Town fan.
Well, true, it is.
Discussing, what's
have you
is better.
Have you received a reply to your email, Karl, that you sent?
Oh, yeah.
No, I think you're still reading it. It was that long.
How long was it?
About 300 yards.
Ian Peters would rather long ball and goals rather than slow, terrible passing round the back. Hawkins is no better than Keane. Lee Anderson, no good playing out without a second striker. George, more of a threat than Keane. I don't know. I'm kind of looking back.
He's got 3 goals for Wigan in 5 games.
I'm looking back at the days we had.
And he's staying fit. McGoldrick scored today. Remember him? He's been staying fit.
No, don't start me on David McGoldrick. Do not start me. Right, back to the wheel. Let's move it on. Here we go. We've got 2 items left: Boxing Day and Barcelona, and it's going to be Boxing Day. No, it's not. It's stopping. It's slowing. Barcelona. Karl, talk to me about Barcelona. What you asked for this to be put on there? So what's it about?
It's me being a bit sarcastic, really, I'm afraid. Couldn't help myself. You probably won't, none of you will know this, but I am part Catalan. My granddad, when he was alive, he came from Barcelona, so I've got genuine roots to the club. Used to go to the new camp a lot when I was younger. So I always keep a good eye on them. And the thing I kind of think a bit more about them this season is up until this year and possibly last year, when I used to get home from Portman Road on a Saturday night feeling miserable, hating the game, just totally disinterested in football, I thought, oh, hold on, Barcelona are playing at 8 o'clock. I put them on and I can watch them and suddenly fall back in love with the game. And now, generally this season, after putting the knife to my wrist watching Ipswich, I start going backwards and forwards with the knife watching Barcelona. And it got me thinking, this rubbish that we try and play out from the back, and I know more teams try and do it, but when Paul Lambert first introduced it to the side, people were saying, why are we trying to play like Barcelona? Maybe Lambert thought that's the best way to go forward. Let's try and play like Barcelona. But if Lambert wanted to be like Barcelona, we've finally made it. We are now like Barcelona. We're both struggling with injuries. We're both having a pretty shit season. We're both 5th in the league and we've both scored 23 goals this season. You can't get much more like Barcelona than that.
Did they win last night? They won 2-1, didn't they? Beat Sociedad.
Yeah, they can beat a top 6 side, but that put them up to 5th because they saw Ipswich for 5th.
Anyway,
really, they thought we
did you watch
tonight
it
so we can get up.
Did you watch it last night?
Some of it, yeah.
Right. Did you see? Look, I'm going to spoil it for old Martin up there. Did you see Griezmann's hair?
Oh,
Yeah, that needs cutting.
No,
Cutting?
no. Did you see what he had done to it?
the braids.
Oh, no, I didn't. No.
Oh my lord!
I'll put it on.
What about the braids?
No. Go on, Martin. Tell him what he had.
I don't know. Why rob you of your moment? Come on, Crunch. You're
Who,
the one
me?
who posted it in yeah, you posted it in the WhatsApp group.
No, I didn't. Matt did.
Oh, did he? Oh, bless
Yeah,
you.
Matt did.
I thought it was you.
He's not here. No, I posted another one. I'm saving that till Sunday.
Oh, he had French plaits, didn't he? From
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, I
Shocking.
can do a mean French plat.
And didn't Mbappe have like a blue haircut or something?
Oh, look, he's just bloody ruined it for me now, Kally. I was going to use it on Sunday. He looked like a bit of chalk, didn't he? On your snooker cue. He did. He was literally blue.
We can leave that for Sunday because we've got Boxing Day games to finish up with as Santa is here, and Boxing Day is notoriously Santa's.
I'm in the ballot anyway. I'm in the ballot.
Doesn't surprise me.
Actually,
Before Boxing Day, protests. I'll grab Santa's thoughts, Kally's thoughts, Cruncher's thoughts. Protests, Swindon, obviously chosen for Sky. Are we protesting? If we are, why? And what do we want from it, etc.? Kally, you want to kick us off there?
Yeah, so for me, absolutely, I'll be there. I know there's questions about the timing of it and all the rest of it.
Mike Brown.
I mean, yeah, it takes a while to organise protests.
He needs 20 men. He needs 20
Hang
men,
on.
apparently.
He's got 2 here.
Exactly.
I think. Nah, there'll be more than 20.
He needs 18 men.
But this is it, and I think as a club, certainly my lifetime, I can't, or certainly following Town as well, I can't remember us doing a massive protest where we've been like other clubs. And that's where we need to be. We need to raise that awareness and be like, because at the moment, people are still going to the games. People are still watching it on iFollow, buying all the merchandise. And I know, yes, I'm a hypocrite. I'll watch the game. But, that's my sin or whatever, right? But at the end of the day, the big issue is Marcus Evans. But with £100 million debt, we ain't going to be. He's not going anywhere anytime soon. The next thing comes to his 5-point plan, which is in 2 weeks' time. That'll be 4 years. He had his 5-point plan, right? And just on his 5-point plan, so he's got the only thing, there's like 1.5 things out of that 5-point plan. I'd say actually, okay, Marcus, you're doing that. One was about the financial commitment to the club's academy, right, and establishing a steady flow of players to the first team. Okay, I'd say he's done that. The academy's there. We've got academy players going through. Fair's fair. It's not brilliant, but he's done that. The other one he's kind of doing, and he's only done since we've been relegated, is providing a competitive squad salary budget. When we were in the Championship, which is when his 5-year plan come out, we were not providing a competitive salary budget. And so,
do you know what the wage bill, Kally, was when we were in the Championship? Our wage bill nearly 18 million.
Yeah, and where did that sit in the list of Championship wages?
Oh, I don't know. I'll have to have a look.
Lower half.
But bottom 7.
Yeah.
Right, yeah,
and this is the thing. It's like, so now he's got he can provide that competitiveness in terms of, we've got probably with the Sunderlands and maybe Hull or whatever in the league, probably one of the better salary side of things. The other things is about his annual investment to purchase players in the early stages of their career and to assist with their development. I was looking on that transfer market of all our signings, and I'm thinking, well, hold on, early years of the career, you're thinking under 25, right? So I'm thinking under 25, let's have a look. And only one name actually stood out, and I'm convinced the only reason we made a bit of decent money since on him has been because of McCarthy, was Adam Webster.
Yeah, I was going to say Webster.
We sold him for, I think, about 5 mil or something in that.
3 million. But they lost their bottle because really they should have kept hold of him. The next season he went for like 25 million.
Well, this is it. And the same with, I know this happened before the 5-point plan, but the Tyrone Mings, the sell-on clauses, we were having those sell-on clauses. I think McCarthy must have inserted them, or TC or whoever was helping McCarthy do those things. Because look how Ellis Harrison, he was a youngster we bought for 750 grand. And what happened to him? The other youngsters on this list that we had is Caden Jackson, 1.6 million for a 24-year-old. And the only player there that really stuck out was probably Edwards, where you get your money back, who's 750k, and we'll probably get about the same if we were lucky. Then the other 2 points on his thing was about maintaining a stable management and coaching team. Oh yes, we know that. You'll keep Lambert until we're in League 2, maybe non-league. The only green shoots he's having is the one he's putting in his joint and smoking, because I don't know what he's seeing. Because that comes perfectly to the 5th one, which was about develop a team to play attractive and exciting football. Show me the attractive and exciting football, please. Right, I'm begging for it. You know what I mean? Like, there is nothing attracting or exciting about our football, and it's been that way for a long time. So in terms of the protest, our owner, he needs to decide. He needs to decide if he's going to shit. Sorry, excuse my French. He needs to decide where he's going to be, which side of the fence he's on. Does he want to play this kind of owner in the background, and I'll be the silent investor, and I'll be the owner, and I'll do 3 interviews in so many years, and I won't come to a lot of the games and all the rest of it. Fine, give it to someone to run the club. Or if you want to have your hands on there and say, this is how I want the team to play, I don't want to have 2 up front, it's got to be 4-3-3, I want these types of things, this is what I want in my club, then actually invest in your club. You talk about, the investment. He could have invested a couple of million, we'd have been a Premier League team. So, he's not led up to what he said he sold us. He sold us a dream, if you like, or whatever, saying this is the 5-point plan, this is what we're going to be. 4 years on, we're worse off.
Can I just say, though, that will provide certain number of players for the first team. If you cut all investment back to the bare bones, then that's not going to be difficult to get a number of players from the academy in the first team. Like, in reality...
No, but be fair...
But in reality, apart from Andre, who has really come, and Wolfie, who has really come through the academy...
Flynn Downs.
Of a Kieran Dyer level. No, he was maybe okay. Three players in 5 years. Is that enough?
Even before that, like when we was in the Championship, Jack was in our relegation season. Jack was coming through. Jack Lancaster did okay. Even before, a couple of times under McCarthy, Nydam was about as well. And I know everyone's
don't rate him.
I know everyone's split on this one, but Ken Hock's come from the academy. Josh Emmanuel, he's a young player that we had.
Close it down.
Develop him.
Close it down. Kally has to conversate. Look, Kenlock on this show, I don't mind the guy, but every time I mention the name Miles Kenlock, it is like I've mentioned.
I'm not saying he's good or bad. All I'm saying is he's an academy player which has come through to the first team, and this guy's talking. Evans is talking about developing him and being able to sell him on for a profit.
We ain't selling Kenlock for nothing, are we? If we sell him on, how much you getting? 50p?
Well, what did we get for Josh Emmanuel? Oh, nothing.
Free transfer.
Great bit of business, wasn't it?
Okay, Karl, are you protesting?
I won't be protesting at the ground, no, because I feel like I'm already protesting every week in my column. Anyone who reads my column on a regular basis over the last 3 or 4 weeks, or longer, 3 or 4 seasons, can see how I feel. And I know every week I write what I write. I know it's not going to change anything, whether it's me on my own in my newspaper column or 100 people at the ground. It's just going to fall on deaf ears, isn't it? I mean, unless you had a real strong mass protest of, say, a couple of thousand, which would only happen in the ground, with the North Stand staying behind after a game, venting their anger. People say it gets toxic there. I've never seen it toxic at Portman Road. And I just want to pick up on a point from Mike Davey a few moments ago. Thanks for worrying about me there, Mike. And Santa is a realist, but at the moment, being a Santa tractor boy, everything that comes out of Santa's mouth will probably sound like I am being negative, but that's where we are. Reality is we're just in a negative situation all the time. So if you're going to just talk about how things are going, it will be negative. What's the answer? Santa don't know. I might have a look at my sack later and see if I can find anything that might help.
Careful.
Especially with some watching.
And I agree that if people want to protest, good luck for them. I love Blue Action. I've got a lot of Blue Action merchandise. I love what they brought to the club. When Lambert first came, Lambert took a lot of credit for the atmosphere changing. But Lambert weren't in the stand next to me singing. That was Blue Action. So, a lot of credit goes to those guys, and they probably are the best group, let's say, of trying to do something. And I wish them every luck in the world. If they want any help with advertising the protest, get in touch, put it in the column. But as I say, I think I'm already protesting in my column.
That's fair enough. Yeah, absolutely. I won't ask Cruncher because MDFs don't demonstrate against.
I'll be there. Don't worry, I'll be there on the 9th.
You'll be there, but what about protesting?
Rich, have you still got your Magilton out bed sheet? Because you can write on the other side of it now.
Not quite sure where it is. This is what I said on Sunday about you were on about someone to lead it and
galvanise it.
Look, Blue Action, I totally agree with Karl there. They have done a lot of good. They're trying to actually get something up and running. It all depends, because a lot of people are brave, aren't they, on social media, but will they actually, on the day, turn up? Because we know a lot of people, don't we, Martin, who give it the big one on social media. And when it comes to actually doing something, they go and fucking hide, Get yourself, if anybody wants to, look, I agree with Karl. Marcus, he isn't going anywhere. There is no one out there with 100 million that are going to come and buy our football club. But as supporters, we have the piss taken out of us for too long, and it's still continuing nowadays with the manager. Look how he treats the local media. Look how he treats Phil Ham. And nothing's been said about that. Marcus comes out with his little statement the other week, and then he's like, backtracking, saying sorry. Sooner or later, you have to stand up. Nothing will probably become of this, but you have to stand up and say, right, enough is enough. We're going to get down there, and we are actually going to do something about it. I will be there if we haven't gone into Tier 3, mind you, because after Christmas, we all know that there's going to be another lockdown, so it's probably going to lock down. But if it doesn't happen on the 9th, there will be a protest sometime before the end of the season. There will be, and I'm going to be there. And look, if you want to come, join in. If you don't give it the big one on social media, and then don't fucking turn up, because I don't want you there. Get yourself there.
And with the protest itself, it's like, look, everyone's got their own rights, and they do what they want, right? If you don't want to come to the protest, that's entirely up to you. If you don't agree with it, that's entirely up to you, right? But the purpose, like we said, Evans ain't going to set up. No one's going to buy us, right? So it's not, we can't get Evans out. But I know we're saying, okay, Evans probably knows. It's not hitting him, and he's not really seeing it. So what, a couple of people on Twitter, or a couple of people not paying a bit of iFollow, and a couple of people not going to the ground. Martin, you said it a couple of weeks ago before the fans were back. The biggest message would have been if we had like 500 fans or less there. And in the end, we had closer to 2,000. Okay, it wasn't 2,000, so, whatever. And I get...
Oversubscribed, wasn't it, the ballot?
Well, that's it. And I get, because of the year, it adds a bit of normality and everything. And, for people's mental health, I'm all for that. But, and I'm not saying, you shouldn't go to any of the games, but just that first game, you shouldn't have gone. And we're all for... Ipswich are like our voices, right? This is our voice. We know it's bad for us, but we keep paying to go back all the time, right? We keep paying for the iFollows, the games or whatever. But the manager, the owner doesn't give a shit about us. And the only way he's going to start listening is when there's hopefully a couple of hundred people. Like I said, like Karl said, there ain't going to be thousands of people. I can't see that happening. Ipswich is a quiet, happy, clappy type of fan base, and I will say that. And it's like there's clubs that are set up worse than us that have progressed. Why is it not happening with Ipswich? And it comes down to the very top. It's rotten from there. Yeah.
I would challenge the £100 million. I think that is, if you're, it's something that you worry about when you don't necessarily have to worry about. Because if you bought a house and you moved in, and the next door neighbours were absolute arseholes and made your life hell, you'd say, Joe, what, love, we've got to move. I don't care how much of a loss we take on this house. We've got to move this, that, and the other. If Marcus Evans truly wanted to sell this football club, the same way Everton did in the 90s or whatever, it would be anyone come and buy it for £1. I just want out. I don't care what it is you give me. I want out because I've had enough of this, and this. And I've had enough of putting £8 million in a year of my own money and getting a lot of flack. So, yes, the debt is eye-watering, but it's all to him. So if it was truly awful for him, bless him, I think he could. I think he's a big enough boy to say, "I'm out."
But what's the appeal for a potential buyer to buy Ipswich? What's the appeal? Debt aside,
but that's it. If what is the appeal if you make it unappealing? If you say £100 million is the bare minimum I'm taking because that's how much I'm owed. If you said to anybody with a lot of money, is a football club here, England's third tier, a lot of tradition, has got Playford Road, has got all the ground there, doesn't own its own ground, but with councils being squeezed the way they are, maybe you could speak to them in a year, maybe you could lean on them, maybe you could do a deal. I don't know. There's all this land being bought up around Ipswich. That the Sugar Beet factory, for example, could have been a key location for a new stadium, state of the art. Put Ipswich Town on the map. If you've got the ambition and you've got the money, there's all the things you can do in the world. But if you're being told the opening offer is £100 million for a third-tier club?
Well, no, like you said, it is about the debt. And like, I grew up in
It's all
Wolves.
to him, Kally. So if he said, look, I want out, there's 100 million reasons there I've just given. That a real powerhouse of an owner, of a money man, would come in and say, yeah, okay, I'll take off your hands for £1.
I'll bring the example of Wolverhampton, right? Wolves, they had Sir Jack Hayward as their owner, a bit like our Sheepshanks, right? He was a local guy, really invested in the community, got onto the Premier League a couple of times, went on some hard times when they was relegated, ended up selling it to a local property, well, not a local property, but a property developer, Steve Morgan, I think it was. He sold it to him for £1 and he said manage the debt from there. Steve Morgan took a Premier League team to League One, but then they come straight back up. And when they were in the Championship, they got proper investment. They were then an appealing club because they had a smaller wage. They were in the Championship and something was appealing. We're never going to have an owner, forget your debt aside, forget whatever it's going to cost. Even if it's a quid here, right, here's £1, buy Ipswich Town, and you got to manage the debts from there. It's not appealing until we get into the Championship, and it ain't going to happen anytime soon.
But
and
as we just said, Kally, in the last hour, this league is bang average. As Jimmy Walker keeps telling you, it's bang average. It ain't going to take a lot in January if it happened overnight for it to happen. Because
we'll be here end of the season. We'll be here end of the season talking about, you know what, guys, we finished in the top 10 this season. That's progress. It was 11th last year. I would just
like to finish before we go into Boxing Day, a lot more maybe happier comments before we close. That Blue Action have done a lot of good, but they need to do a lot more for me. And if you are going to be the leaders of this fan base, you need to lead this fan base. Charlton went abroad to a game where Charlton FC weren't even playing in to demonstrate. This is a good protest. It's a good start. But next you go to Marcus Evans' headquarters if you have to with your protest. So he can't deny it. So other areas of the business are hearing about the fact we own this football club and they're not happy. Like, you can't just say one game, Swindon, that's it, shut us down, we've done our protest. We've made our voice known. You've got to start somewhere. This is the start. But now you need to also have Evans' 5-point plan. You need a plan for the fans. Now.
Charlton, they went in the boardroom, didn't they?
They did.
Actually got in the boardroom.
That takes organisation, and we need that. We need that. It needs to be a start from Swindon, and you need to go on, and you need to have clear parameters. And I was at a meeting, just to close, and I know I'm the one who's talking, but of the 5-point, Mark Beck organised it. Yeah. There was like 10 of us in this room, and I came away from there really enthused that other fans felt the same, but also really disappointed that there was 10 people in this room out of all these hundreds on social media that constantly tell you how angry they are. Only 10 turned up to this meeting to say, I'm angry enough. What are we going to do?
When was that meeting?
That was just before the lockdown.
It was in March, wasn't it? It was, yeah.
Now, I think there's more engagement online because of COVID and lockdown and everything, right? I think there's more engagement on digital platforms. So I think you are reaching more fans. Like, if you go digital, I think if that was to happen now, you'll get more than 10 people there. I didn't know about it. I'd happily come down. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, that's just me.
It was cool. It was a big thing about it. But right, Boxing Day memories, Boxing Day games. So have we ever been to any Boxing Day games? If so, what are the best ones we've been to? Karl, kick us off, because this was your suggestion for the wheel. So talk to us about Boxing Day, Santa.
Yeah, okay, mate. But just before I do, and he doesn't know I'm doing it, I just want to plug the Kevin Beattie calendar. And I want to wish my mate Malcolm Thompson good luck tomorrow. He runs the Sore Feet for the Beat Twitter account.
I see your picture, Karl. I see your picture.
Yeah, I saw yours, mate. You was only about 12, weren't you? Yeah.
No, I'd know where then.
No. But Malcolm has been getting loads of donations coming in, and he's running a raffle for the Kevin Beattie Foundation, and he starts his Christmas draw tomorrow. So good luck to everyone that's in that. And Santa says, well done, Malcolm, top man.
I think he's raised over 800 quid in the raffle.
Yeah,
it's Kevin's birthday. It's Kevin's birthday, isn't it, tomorrow? And then it runs till the 31st. So I think there's 2 prizes. I think every single day there'll be. And I think there's an auction, isn't there? At the minute, you can bid on a Paul Mariner signed T-shirt. I think I see.
Yeah.
So,
and I mean,
but if you
Malcolm's a top man. I went to a Kevin Beattie tribute night back in February of last year down here in Clacton, and Brian Talbot turned up, Paul Mariner, Eric Gates. You know, Malcolm done all that himself. And in the past, when he ran the Spirit of 78 group, he had some top nights there in Ipswich. So he's a good man.
Good
Boxing Day. Yeah, so Boxing Day. Go back to what you said earlier, Rich, about an easier game against Northampton. Let's hope it is. Do you remember last year when we played Gillingham, a nice, boring 0-0?
Yeah, my lad Archie was he was mascot actually, and he absolutely hammered it down, and it was a terrible game, but it was a memorable day because he was mascot. So.
Oh, great. Well, so we haven't won any of our last 4 Boxing Day games. We've not even scored a single goal. Quick quiz. Name the last 2 players to score on Boxing Day for us.
Luke Varney.
Nope. And this will tell you how bad things are.
Go on.
Luke Chambers and Jonathan Douglas.
Queen's Park Rangers, wasn't it? QPR.
Yeah, 92nd minute winner, Chambers.
Back for his header.
Looking at home games on Boxing Day, obviously we drew 0-0 last year with Gillingham. We drew 0-0 with QPR in 2017, and that was a day that I think my daughter just about had enough. She couldn't take any more. I think the year before that we lost 2-0 at home to Fulham. Then the year before that was when we beat QPR 2-1. But that QPR 2-1 win is only the second home Boxing Day win this millennium. You've got to go back to 2001 when we beat Leicester 2-0. Marcus Bent.
Sixto Peralta.
Well done, mate. You've got a great memory there.
Was it 2-0 or 2-1?
2-0.
2-0. Yeah, so Boxing Day is not as good as it could be. And I think my favourite in the last 20 years, probably West Ham away, 2003, 2-1 win, 2 goals from
Pablo Canago and Martin Roycer.
No, both Canago.
Did you get 2? I'm sure one of them was Roycer's.
Yeah. Well, it might have hit him on the way in, but when I
my favourite Boxing Day, Karl was probably at this game, was December 1991, Ipswich 2, Blackburn 1. Were you at that game?
Blackburn, yeah.
Yeah, it was a great day.
When, Blackburn.
Who scored for Blackburn?
We
Come on.
1-0 down, weren't we?
Can you remember who scored?
Was it Speedy? David Speedy?
No, it was Alan Wright. Speedy was playing.
Oh, Alan Wright.
Alan Wright scored.
Yeah, but
Mike Newell and then Gavin.
Same height, aren't they?
Yeah, Gavin Johnson equalised with a back post header. Stevie Whitten cross, and then Dazelle scored the winner. This is way before your time, Martin. You probably can't remember.
Well, no, it was about.
This was when Blackburn were just about to sort of become big, wasn't it? They were like the favourites that season.
Dalglish.
And we
was
just
manager, wasn't he?
Good shout out. Yeah, a good shout out for another good game. Boxing Day 2000, we drew 2-2 at home to Chelsea. We were 2-0 down, I think. Yeah,
Scully and Marcus Stewart.
Yeah.
Cool, these are better times. Times.
I was there for that one.
That's when Marcus had the gloves. Do you remember the gloves?
Yeah.
The Marcus Stewart gloves.
But do you remember a really savvy football club back then that had the gloves in the club shop within a matter of days after he'd won?
Yeah.
Like
now,
he'd have to win for 5 years before somebody Portman Road thought to put them in a club shop. You know what I mean? Like, it was just a savvy time at a savvy club, well run, good players, and it was take me back there.
Do you remember? Do you remember what you messaged me earlier, Martin? You said you wanted to keep this show to about 35 minutes. We've done an hour and 10.
I know. Kally, as we close up.
35.
Kally, as we close up. Your favourite Boxing Day game?
A lot of Boxing Day ones are a bit hazy, but I think the Leicester one that was a local one for us. That was only down the road, but I was in the Leicester in that game. I missed Ambrose. I think Ambrose scored the second. I missed that one because we got kicked out because I scored on the first one. But I remember David Marshall. Was it Marshall in goal? I think he had a really good game, and I was a critic of his. So I think that's the one that really stands out for me.
For me, it's going to be Brentford. That was the moment. I passed you on the way out, Crunch, and we said to each other, "Well, we're staying up then." And and that was that. What a magical time!
Tommy Smith, what a goal!
Tommy Brazilian Smith. That was just. He turned in the six. Oh, beautiful goal. Still
take me back to them days. You know, Daryl Murphy scoring.
Had just had his song come out called Uptown Funk You Up, which I changed the words to Town Will F You Up, and because we were on fire. All I want for Christmas is Mick McCarthy and his 6 points. That was what I used to. I know. I was a Mick McCarthy fan back then. On my day, memories was sharing that today, and what a time. And then,
but then it comes back. Then it comes back to the owner.
Well, it goes to Brighton first, doesn't it? And then we capitulate at Brighton, and it just slides from there, doesn't it? Brighton is the moment. It just slides, and then here we are. Because we could have gone on top that day.
Lost 3-2.
We looked like 3-2 flattered us.
Definitely.
Didn't it? Because we were terrible. Right, we're done. We're dusted. We're back Saturday at 2:30. Karl, when is the next article out for those that want to read it?
It'll be next Tuesday, mate.
Kally's joke always sticks in my head from the Tuesday comments.
See you next Tuesday.
Every time, every show you say that. And any spoilers? Oh no, I suppose you haven't written it yet, have you? We haven't played. All right, lovely. We're done. We're dusted. Any final words before I play the outro?
Thank you once again for having me on the show tonight, and I wish everyone a very happy Christmas.
Absolutely, with love. With
what Karl said.
Yes,